Thank you very much. The title of my presentation today is How Did We Reach October 7th? What's been happening in the Palestinian world that caused this to happen? And it's not just the events of October 7th, but it's the response of the Palestinian population, not just Hamas, but Fatah and the people as well. And this is what I want to show. So October 7th, everybody knows the horrific things that happened. You just saw some of the pictures. 20 children lost both parents. 96 children lost one parent. Many families completely were wiped out. This family was found hugging together, and they were all murdered together. This was the atrocities. Everybody knew the atrocities. How did the Palestinian Authority and Fatah, and in general the population, respond to this? I'm going to show you first a couple of short examples. This is a Fatah leader on official Palestinian Authority television, already a day after, and everybody knew about the massacres.
بداية نقول لأهلنا ولأبناء شعبنا الفلسطيني صباح النصر، صباح الفرح، صباح العزة والكبرياء.
A morning of victory, joy, and pride. The massacre of Israelis brought in pride. This is official PATV and a Fatah leader. The same day Fatah produced this image, which they broadcast as well on their Telegram channel, a mouse of a Jew over here, an Israeli being trampled by the Palestinian flag, mocking the Israelis, we're trampling you like mice or rats. And then a month later, look what's happening on the streets of Ramallah. Okay, this is happening on the streets of Ramallah. This is one example among many that we saw like it. Now, is this an exception or is this representative of the Palestinian population? And these are the polls that just came out a few days ago, and they're absolutely shocking. Palestinian population, close to 60% extremely support the Hamas attack, and another 15% somewhat support. 75% of the population supports, and even worse, 98% feel a sense of pride as a Palestinian. To a great extent, 94%, and to some extent, 3%, 98% of Palestinians felt pride in this horrific massacre. How did this happen? How did we get here, that an entire population? There is no doubt that it is years of education and messages through the formal education and the informal education that has led to a Palestinian population, that has created a Palestinian population that can support and feel pride in this kind of a massacre. Now, I'm going to be showing you some of that informal education, the atmosphere in the Palestinian Authority. I'm going to start with this year's summer camps that were run by the Palestinian Authority. The summer camps were for 65,000 boys and girls in the PA. And the title of the whole summer camp program was They Are Moons, Luminaries, Stars, and Elite. Who are they talking about? The martyrs. The martyrs are luminaries, stars, they are elite. This was the theme of the summer camp this year for all these students. It taught hatred. Here's one example that the PLO published of its summer camp.
برأيكم شو نتعلم من مخيلاتنا الصيفية؟ في ذلك التثقيف الوطني نتعرف على أصل أرضنا وتاريخها ومقدساتها، والأهم لا تنسوا أن شهدائنا
Okay, the students, the children enacted a murder of a Palestinian by Israelis. These are acting as Israelis, and this is what they're saying the Palestinian experiences. A Palestinian can be praying. This is intended to create hatred, and this is just one example in the summer camp. In addition to hate, there was the glorification of the terrorists. They had the children identify with specific terrorists. This girl said, my sister is martyr Maya Fanna, and his is a martyr so-and-so. All different terrorists. My friend is martyr so-and-so. Martyrs are moons, not numbers. They're not numbers, they're actually luminaries, they're moons. This is the message. And then they had them specifically identify with martyrs. I'm martyr number 25. I'm martyr number 28, 64. We came to participate in launching of the summer camps. This was the atmosphere. This is what the summer camps were teaching the children. Now, one of the summer camps also went a whole level higher. This is what they learned in summer camp. Okay, you see them enacting kidnappings here, enacting murder and killing, and it went on and on. This is the summer camps of the Palestinian Authority. Now, when you promote terror to this extent, then when there actually is successful terror and Israelis are murdered, it has to be honored. And I want to give you two examples at the adult level from the two top people in the Palestinian Authority, then one at the children level, at the adult level. This, Lucy, Mia, and Rena May, mother and her two daughters were murdered in a drive-by shooting in April this year. A month later, Israel captured the two terrorists and killed them. That same day, Prime Minister Mohammed Shtaya posted on his Facebook page a picture of the two murderers, and these were the words, "Glory and eternity to our righteous martyrs." This is the Prime Minister. The murder of these three people in a drive-by shooting were righteous martyrs. This is coming from the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority. Earlier this year, Israel released two murderers from prison who had served 40 years in prison. Mahmoud Abbas called them up on the phone right away. He honored them even more later, but the day they got out, this is what he said to them on the phone.
أنت وكريم قامات كبيرة بالشعب الفلسطيني، نفتخر فيكم وبنعتز فيكم وبنقول الله يعطيكم الصحة وأنتم نبراس.
Okay, you're models of the nation, icons of the Palestinian people, two murderers, and this is what Abbas comes and tells Palestinians about two murderers. Now at the children level. Fatah has a special children's magazine for ages 6 to 15. This young woman here, 26-year-old Dala Lemkes, was murdered by a terrorist. He drove by and ran her over, but when she didn't die, he jumped out of his car and then he stabbed her until she was dead. The terrorist who did this was named Rushdie al-Khashlamoon, and this is what they write about him, about this murder of this young woman in this magazine for young children. The Palestinian prisoner is one of the heroic fighters of Palestine. The best example is prisoner so-and-so, who has the most beautiful smile and carried out a heroic car ramming operation. Running her over, stabbing her to death is a heroic car ramming operation of Fatah to its children. The Palestinian Authority has named 6 schools after Dalal Mughrabi. Who is Dalal Mughrabi? She hijacked this bus together with the terrorists, killed these 12 children and 25 adults, and there are 6 schools the PA Ministry of Education has named after her, in addition to another 31 schools named after different terrorists. Now, one of the messages that enables Palestinians to go out and let themselves be killed and not fear death is that the Palestinian Authority has turned dying for Allah, which is a religious concept, shahada, into the highest achievement. It's not just not so bad, but this is what you should be aspiring for. I want to show you how they teach this both to adults and to children. This is a young girl, and Fatah put this on their Facebook page.
بهية تحمل الهدية نظر إليها فإذا بها بندقية صاح بأعلى صوته يا أمي يا أمي ما هذه أهذه هي الهدية ضمته إليها واحتضنته بيديها وقالت يا بني لم نخلق للسعادة فأنت في نظري مشروع للشهادة فالقدس لنا وسلاحنا إسلامنا وذخيرتنا أبناؤنا.
Our ammunition is our children. Children are ammunition. This is pure child abuse. There is no worse message you can tell a child. You have no value other than ammunition. This is Fatah on their Facebook page. Now, They also do it through music. Music or songs that repeat. This is a song, I'm going to play just a few seconds, but this was played for over 4 years on Palestinian television between programs starting in 2017 through 2020. 4 years they played this song. We beg you, grant us martyrdom. They're begging. Martyrdom is the achievement. We want you to grant us martyrdom, children being brought up on this kind of music. Now, something shocking earlier this year, July of this year, this 17-year-old boy who was an active member of Islamic Jihad was killed in a terror attack, or when Israel was going on a counter-terror operation, he was killed. Now, this is what the official Palestinian Authority Daily cartoon, this is what they put. They had a tombstone with his name, and they wrote on it, he achieved the most respectable shahada, martyrdom. And look what they did here on top. They put, will the successful one, and they crossed out the word successful one, and then they put, the revolutionary raise his hand. In other words, it's not important to be a success in life, it's much more important to be a revolutionary and to die. This is the official newspaper of the Palestinian Authority. A 14-year-old wrote a farewell letter to his parents before he went out on a terror attack this year. And he wrote to his parents, Allah has realized my dream. When I come to you as a martyr, my mother makes sounds of joy, do not cry. I'm going to show you when he had his funeral, he succeeded in getting himself killed. At his funeral, the Palestinian Authority played this song for the people to see. Funeral of a 14-year-old.
نشاهد في هذا الفيديو هذا
Decorate me with roses, my mother. This is the most beautiful time. This is the message. Death of a 14-year-old is beautiful on official Palestinian television. Now, final question is, why is the PA doing this? Why are they sending their children to die? And the answer is, Wafa, the official PA news agency, said, we are trying to have Israel blacklisted, have the Israeli army blacklisted by having children be killed. And I'll give you one example that the EU was involved in, and it shows how problematic this is. There's a 14-year-old boy who was killed in fighting Israeli soldiers. Now, the EU condemned this. Yesterday, a 16-year-old Omar Awidan was killed, children of special protection. We called for a prompt investigation. This was the EU. Now, we then checked him out. First of all, he wasn't just an innocent 14-year-old. He had an automatic rifle. He was involved in terror. More than that, just listen to his parents, what his parents said about him.
يعني كان دائما كل يوم يلا بدي استشهد انا يعني كل يوم لازم يذكر الشهاده بعدين حاط الشهاده بدم ان شاء الله ربنا يتقبله شهيد
احكي له يا بابا شو بدك احكي له امه ادعي لي اني استشهد يعني احكي دائما انا بدي استشهد يعني.
Okay, he prayed to ask his mother to pray that he was died. So what we're seeing here is a clear picture. Palestinian children are seeing death as better than life. And it's the parents themselves who are saying it, and we have dozens of examples of this, of parents who are talking about their dead children. Now, why is this so significant, and what does the EU have to learn from this? Look what the Palestinian Authority did when the EU made its statement. The Palestinian Authority news agency, EU calls for immediate probe into Israel's killing of Palestinian child. He wanted to be killed. He went on a terror attack to be killed. The EU criticizes Israel, and the Palestinian Authority then says, okay, the EU is even supporting us, and this reinforces the Palestinian Authority sending children. When the EU criticizes Israel for dead children, dead Palestinians, they're actually reinforcing this Palestinian policy of sending children to die. Final thing I want to end with is something that Hillary Clinton said at a press conference with me in the US Senate, and the date is important. 2007, listen to what she warned about in 2007.
לא בכל יום נפרסים כך ספרי הלימוד הפלסטינים על השולחן בסנאט האמריקני. אבל כשהילרי קלינטון מטרידה ההסתה שבספרים האלה, זה קורה.
We must stop the propaganda to which Palestinian children are being exposed.
Palestinians are defining the battle of Israel.
הילרי נותנת כאן חסות למחקר החדש של ארגון מבט לתקשורת פלסטינית. ספרי הלימוד האלה נכנסו לתוכנית הלימודים רק בנובמבר האחרון, והשנאה ממש נוטפת מהם.
These textbooks do not give Palestinian children an education, they give them an indoctrination that basically profoundly poisons the minds of these children.
Okay, and that's the key message. Already in 2007, the U.S. Senate knew that the children were being poisoned. I'd already been numerous times to EU Parliament. You all knew that the children were being poisoned. Nothing was done. Today we have a generation of Palestinians where 98% are willing to say they're proud of the October 7th massacre. Let's not let this continue, and it really starts here because you're the big funders. Thank you.